Guys, things are a lot worse than I actually thought it was. I just got finished looking at about 6 TikToks, and not just TikTok videos, but videos on other social media platforms about a lot of the American truck drivers, as far as like the semi-truck drivers who do the over-road driving, transporting goods from the ports to our local stores. A lot of the truck drivers are really, really hurt right now. I watched at least 3 videos where the truck drivers are saying just in this short amount of time with the tariffs going on that they have to actually sell their entire truck. A lot of those people pay at least $255,000 for the semi. So for those of you who don't know what those trucks cost, they cost around 200 and something thousand. One guy said the best offer that he got on the semi truck was $140,000, and the semi truck is actually a 2020. A 2020. That's just shy of 5 years old. So it's real out here when the truck drivers start speaking out about what's going on with them. They're experiencing a huge shortage where it comes to them being contractors, being contracted out to ship stuff for this company and ship stuff for that company. A lot of those guys that's even saying that selling their trucks, they're applying for local jobs where they can drive for a company. And they said a lot of those companies that ships products are actually laying their employees off. Or some of them are even cutting their employees' hours. So it's definitely real.
Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, I'm your host, Amy, and this is where we break down viral stories, trending issues, and reactions from real people. No fluff, just facts and perspective. And today's story hits close to home, especially for the working class. Truck drivers across the US are either being laid off or quitting altogether. And it's not just because of the economy or rising fuel prices. A big part of this, the tariffs that were imposed by President Donald Trump. Now, tariffs may sound like some fairway political move, but they're directly affecting regular people. And this time, it's truckers who are feeling the heat. So before we get into it, if you enjoy real talk and trending stories from all over the world, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise you'll want to stick around. Let's take a look at these people, what they're saying about it. Then I'll come back and we can have this discussion.
90% of the truck drivers voted for Trump. Now they go to the ports and the piers and look for a load to carry, and they find out that half the fucking ships are empty and the other half are being diverted by China to other places. The only fucking thing you'll be hauling is Trump the fuck out of the White House back to Mar-a-Lago.
Does anybody remember last week I said Trump was going to tank the trucking industry? And I was right. I have seen video after video after video of truckers on here boo-hoo crying, real tears, because now they're not getting any loads unless they're hauling food or fuel or maybe, like power lines for electrical equipment or something for down power lines. They're not making any goddamn money right now. But it's not like Trump didn't tell him that during his campaign. He said he was going to impose those tariffs, and still 75% of truckers voted for Donald Trump. So right now they're in around and find out phase. And I'm sure some Weisenheimer's going to get on here and say, well, it's going to affect us all. I'm sure it will.
So trucking is down right now. I'm talking about levels that we haven't seen since the pandemic. Now, the reason for this all of a sudden is all because of Trump's tariffs. They created a market of uncertainty, and as a result, folks just aren't shipping stuff here, and that hurts truckers. Now, I just want to remind you that Republicans can stop any of this whenever they want, because Congress has the ability to take Trump's tariffs power away from him, so we all can come together to axe the Trump tax. But because they're too afraid of him, they won't do it. So truckers are getting screwed because Republicans are too weak to stand up to Donald Trump. Shameful.
The trucking industry is about to have an FAFO moment, brought to you by Donald Trump. As a result of Donald Trump putting huge tariffs on China, the number of shipping containers coming from China has plummeted in the last month. One of the largest ports in the United States, the Port of Los Angeles, has seen a 20% decrease in the number of shipments coming in year over year, with a 19% decrease in bookings. And very soon, the trucking industry is going to feel it because those 40-foot containers get loaded onto semis to be distributed around the United States. Meanwhile, the CEOs of Target, Walmart, and Home Depot have privately warned Donald Trump that there will be shortages and shelves empty as a result. That means fewer truckers needed to bring stuff in because there isn't anything to bring in. And yet it's hard to feel sorry for the trucking industry. They are the 6th most partisan industry to the Republican Party.
So the truck drivers are quitting en masse due to the tariffs and what's not going to be coming into the United States anymore. And I would say don't panic, because where one would see like, oh my God, everybody's going to be quitting, recession. I think this is an opportunity for us to begin just creating our own products here in America, in the United States, so that we don't have to worry about what's going in and what's coming out. If we're creating everything right here for us, by us, we won't have to worry about what is going in and what is coming out. So guys, don't panic. Everybody, let's just start manufacturing, producing, agriculture, all of that. Like, it's time for Americans to depend on Americans and actually make America great. How about that? Don't panic. Find a way and make one.
I picked up a truck driver yesterday here in the Fort Lauderdale metro area from one of the truck stops where they park their trucks, and actually took him home. And so I always talk to all of my riders normally. And so I'm asking him about, how is the trucking business? How is it looking? What's going on? And he said it's getting scary, that he was already having trouble booking rides that he normally would do to loads to take from the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area to other parts of the country. 2 large ports here. The Port of Miami is super large. Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale, is smaller on the cargo, but still it's a large port when it comes to cargo. And he's saying that he's having trouble picking up loads out of the ports to take to other parts of the country from here. And I said, well, what's going on? And he says, well, it's got to be the tariffs, and that they are importing, receiving fewer containers, fewer goods in the ports, and it is trickling down to the truckers, which means there's less business for the truckers.
Thousands of truckers are being laid off. New tariffs are heating up a trade war between the U.S., China, and Europe. This is not just about truckers being laid off. That's just the first domino effect in all of this. When truckers start being laid off, the supply chain freezes. The prices go up. And then companies start to cut costs. And guess what that means? That means more layoffs. So what that means for us? That means that in the near future, prices are going to be sky high, and we're going to begin to see our shelves empty. So here's how to prepare. Cut non-essential spending. Start saving some money, because things are about to get sky high and you're going to need more money. Right now, also, you can start to buy stuff in bulk. While it's not expensive, stock up on the things that you may need, because we may not even be able to get no supplies at all. This is not fear-mongering. This is a reality. And if we didn't learn nothing in 2008, what we learned is that the people who prepare early, they made it through that crisis easier.
You can feel the pressure they're under. They aren't just job losses. These are people's lives unraveling. For many truckers, this job has been their way of supporting their families, paying off rigs, or just staying afloat. And now they're being pushed out with little warning. And some are quitting because they're just not enough work. Others are being let go because the loads have dried up. Either way, it's just a heartbreaking situation. And the worst part, this isn't just about one company or one state. It's happening all over. And this also means delays in the things you buy, rising cost, and even shortages in some areas, because when truckers stop rolling, the whole system slows down. That is what is happening. So let's talk about it in the comments and drop your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say about all this. And guys, if you felt this video gave you something to think about, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe for more real voices and real stories. Thank you for watching Trending Pulse Worldwide, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.